of fact, speaking of putting our minds to it, that's what we're going to be talking about today is being fit to fight. Pruning the Tree is the title, freeing our mind and the rest will follow. So I want to welcome everybody out there to today's Root Network episode. We're so glad to be here today. I have with us our dear friend Latanya. Latanya, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about you?
Absolutely. So my name is Latanya Hunter. I've been a part of World Changers Nation, since probably about 2004, and I've been here in Houston since 2017.
Number one, with discipline, the thing that jumped out at me, what you were saying was, I heard literally Holy Spirit saying it's a process.
Yes.
When you think about the word discipline, you think about disciples, a person who's learning, and a person who's following, in this case, the Holy Spirit, and learning, how should I think about food?
Yes.
How should I think about my body? How should I think about exercise? And understanding that this self-control is something that's developed over time. This temperance is something that is developed over time. And like you said, I may be on the outer bounds of the grocery store, but as time goes on, I learn I really need to spend more time on the inside, and even learning what is on the inside.
Yes.
It's a process, and sometimes we can beat ourselves up because we're new at something. And many of us out there, we're new at becoming fit. We're new at eating right. We're new at exercising. I remember when I first started exercising, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I needed somebody to show me and to guide me. And it's the same thing, though. What I was saying was I needed somebody to change the way I thought.
Yes.
I thought you just had to get on the bench press thing and just, pound out, as many. And it was like, that's not going to get you fit.
Yes.
That's not going to do nothing necessarily for your core or anything like that. But until somebody took some time and walked with me, and I invested time in money in that case for somebody to train me, then things change.
Yeah.
And that's what it is when you're disciplining yourself, you're allowing yourself to be trained.
Yes, yes. One of the things that the Holy Spirit had been dealing with me about over the last few weeks as well was to be thankful for where we are at.
That's good.
And
that's really
so as a reminder, I know sometimes we're like, okay, stand in the mirror, and maybe we're not happy about certain things about our body, but I was reminded, let me just thank God that I can see,
Yeah.
that I could hear, that all of my
Absolutely.
organs work
Yes.
appropriately and as
Yeah.
they were designed to function,
Yeah.
and being grateful for movement, for
Yeah.
the ability to, whether it's to walk or to lift weights or yoga, whatever it is that, God has given us the body to be able to do, and being grateful for that.
Yeah.
And then how do I, Lord, whatever you've called me to do,
Yeah.
how do I make sure that I'm equipped to do that through the health and strength of my body?
Yeah, so being disciplined is important, but at the same time, not pushing ourselves again and becoming so hard on ourselves that we forget about being thankful.
Yes.
What dropped in my spirit when you said that was, Jesus with the fish and the loaves of bread, not being enough for feeding the 5,000 men that were there, plus their families, but literally it was what he had. And so he took what he had and he was thankful.
Yes.
He held it up to God and said, thank you for this, Lord. And then he blessed it, and then it multiplied. Maybe that's something we can take into our thinking to start doing with our own bodies. It's taking this body and saying, Lord, thank you for what I got, like you just said. Thank you
Absolutely.
that I have my hands. Thank you that I have my feet. Thank you that, I have the ability just to wake up today and to try again at what it is, Holy Spirit, you're leading me to do, versus getting into fear
Yes.
that I didn't do what I was supposed to do yesterday. I got a bag of Oreos sitting on the side of my bed, and I absolutely did not do what God told me to do. And so now I'm in fear that I'm going to add all these pounds or whatever like that.
Yes.
Instead, we need to understand God's grace. Again, it's an enabler, not an excuser, but at the same time that I'm enabled to try again today because of grace.
Yes.
Doesn't give me an excuse for what I did yesterday.
Yes.
I need to be disciplined.
Yes.
I need to tell myself no, and I need to get help from the Holy Spirit to do that, but I'm enabled to try again today.
Yes, yeah. And not sticking into that, in that condemnation.
Yes,
You know,
that's
to
good.
be able to say, okay, Lord, thank you for the awareness and even bringing that to my attention, because there might have been a time where maybe you didn't even care, right? You know,
Yes,
I ate that cookie and didn't think anything about it.
Right.
And so now that we are more conscious about the food that we put into our body, how we nourish our body, how much water we drink.
Yeah.
And I've noticed the Holy Spirit will lead and guide us in that. Like, you know, you need to drink more water. And then realizing, you know, wow, we may not realize that he preserved us from a headache or from anything else, but our body has been equipped.
Yeah, and I love the fact, what you were also saying earlier about you in your own journey. You know, like I said, there's some of us in Engaged Fitness that have reached a certain level but are still working on ourselves. And then there's some of us who are restarting our fitness journey like myself, and others where you have knowledge, but you're like, okay, let me get back disciplined and get into it. And then you have people who are in the middle of all of that. And that's what I think is a better representation of getting fit, you know, instead of everybody just looking like Greek gods or something like that. And, you know, and you're trying to become them
Yes.
instead of becoming the best you.
Yes.
Holy Spirit was very specific to me when I was starting Engage Fitness. He told me, don't be in competition with the old you, with
good.
the CrossFit you. He said, that's not who you are. You're 44 years old right now. You were 36, 37 when you started that. You've changed, you know, with the accidents and the different things that have happened. And now you're going to be the best you, even a better you, but don't keep looking back at those
Yeah.
pictures. Don't keep looking back at those ways, because that's not helping the way you think. Hey, have you been blessed by the Root Network? If so, join us in prayer as well as participating financially. The information right on the bottom will get you right to where you need to be at. Take a screenshot, get it. We thank you so much. We love you. We'll see you next time.